Okay, we will go to the next part, which is Python programming. So we will see what are the basic thing we need to know. First, if I want to print a statement, so I have to use the print function, right? So print is the basic function we will be using most of the time. And whatever you want to, print in your output, we will be using the print, open and close bracket, inside the double quotes. Either you can use double quote or we can use the single quote to print the statement. Correct. Then variable and types is there. Okay. So what is actually a variable and what are all the different types which are available? Here types means data type we are mentioning. Okay. So mostly people will say like variable means it is a container where you will be storing the value. But actually in the backend, what will be happening is whatever you are trying to store, it can be a number or string, anything. It has to be stored in a memory, right? Every system is having a memory. So in that memory, it will have a address. Okay, it is going to be an hexadecimal address, so you will not be knowing what address it is storing, and you can't able to access it based on the address. So for our convenience, we are creating a name to address. Okay, we are pointing that name to that particular address. So every time when I am calling that name, it is indirectly, connecting to that address, and whatever value stored inside that particular address, it is returning to us. To understand it very simply, just remember that if you may be having a number of your friend. Okay, it will be very hard for us to remember the number. Okay, every person's number you are having a, family member, 4 5 members will be there. You will be having a, 10 20 friends will be there. It will not be easy for us to remember all their mobile numbers. So what we will do, for our easy convenience, we will store the number with their name. Okay, we will give some name to that particular number. So next time if I want to call my friend, you won't be thinking about the number. Instead, you will think of the name. Okay, and if you click the call button, what will happen? Whatever number is stored in that particular name, that will be connected. Right. Similar way here also it is happening. Variable is there, address is there, and variable name is there. So whenever I'm calling the name, it will redirect to that address, and whatever value present inside that particular address will be returned back to me. Okay, and types, when it comes to types, where we are having various types like string is there, integer is there, float is there, boolean is there. Okay, lot are there. And Python is called as a dynamic, data type. So why we are calling it as a dynamic data type? Okay, the reason why we call Python as a dynamic data type is because we can change the variable data type from one to another. For example, when I'm creating a variable, I have created with an integer data type. For example, I'm assigning a equal to 5. Okay, later in my program, I can able to change the data type. Like I can assign or I can, replace the value to any other data type. For example, it can be a float or it can be a string, it can be a list. Like that, whatever data type is there, we can able to replace it. Okay, that is why we are calling it as a dynamic data type. It can be changed at any point of the time. Whereas in olden times, like other programming language, if you take means, we have to assign what data type we are going to use. And apart from that particular data type, if you are trying to change to different data type, then it will throw error. Okay, while assigning the variable itself, we have to assign, okay, this is going to be an integer data type. So our program will allocate some memory space according to the data type, and it will not allow different data type to enter into that particular space. But we don't have any restriction like that in Python. Okay, so that is what here mentioned. So here different data types has been given: a equal to 5, b equal to, a charm, which is an a string, c is a list, and d is the float data type. And if I want to know, okay, which data type I'm using, okay, this particular variable is which data type, then I have to use a function called type. So if I give type of, and then the variable name, if I'm entering, either it can be a variable name, or if I'm entering a value directly, then it will return me on which class it has been created an object. Here int means integer, short form. Okay, everything mostly will be in the short form version only. Okay. Then delete a variable. I'm creating a variable. Same way I can able to delete it also, right? So if I want to delete a variable, then what I have to do is I have to use the keyword called del space. Then I have to give the variable name. Here I have used one term called keyword. Okay. Keywords are nothing but reserved words. Okay. It is a reserved words reserved by the programming language. Okay, it differs from programming to programming. Okay, in some programming language they will use some different keywords. In another programming they will be using different keywords. So those words are, we are calling it reserved because we should not use those words for the variable name. Okay, when you are creating a variable name, it is, we have to make sure that we don't use those names. Okay, some of the example are, here I have showed you like del is one keyword. Likewise, we are having true, false, none is there. And one thing in Python, like it may be as an interview question also, it can come. Uh, there are like many keywords is there, right? In that, only three keywords. Okay, only three keywords will have first letter as capital. Apart from those three keywords, all other will come in the smaller case only. So if I'm trying to create a variable, for example, del is there, right? Here del. So del. If I'm changing to caps, del in caps, if I'm giving means, Python will consider it as a different word because for human only it is capital letter, small letter. For machine it is completely an ASCII code, and ASCII code for, small d is different from ASCII code for capital D. So it will consider, okay, it is completely a different word. Okay. And as I am talking about the keyword, right? Only for true, false, and none, we will have a capital letter. Okay, T caps, F caps, and N caps. Apart from that, all other keywords will have only smaller case.